So continuing with yesterday, we're going to do converting some rates here. I did rates yesterday, right? I did at least one question, I think, with rates to be continued here. So it's asking us to go from gallons per minute to liters per hour. This is on page 3. So let's go 42 gallons in 1 minute. And we're going to convert that. It's up to you which one you want to tackle first. I'm going to go from gallons to liters first. So I'm getting rid of the minutes for now. I'm just focusing on gallons. I know that 1 gallon has 3.79 liters. I get to cancel the gallons, right? Perfect. Now, I'm going to convert the minutes to hours. And I'm going to use 1 hour. And I'm going to put the minutes on top. Why? Yeah, because it cancels out with the denominator here, right? And now all I have left is liters and hours, just like they're asking me to do. Okay. So you want to use your calculator for this one. If you already did it, that is fine. All the page numbers are off. Is yours page 3? Yeah, this is page 3? Okay. Sometimes I make changes. So if you multiply across the top here, you get 9,550.8 liters per hour. By the way, what's technically underneath this number here? 1, right? Because I went 1 times 1 times 1, so it's just a 1. I don't bother dividing this number by 1. If you want to, you go right ahead, right? But that's why I leave it like this. So this is a unit rate, okay? Unit rate. Okay? Per 1 hour. That's how we know we're in unit rate when the denominator is 1. Okay, then we know that it's a unit rate. All right, let's use this information to answer a different question. This is a different kind of question. It's asking, how many liters would you have in 5.5 hours? So it's basically saying, hey, let's imagine this is a pump. It pumps 9,550.8 liters every hour. How many liters would we have in 5.5 hours? Now, some of you are just going to know right away, I need to just multiply, right? I just times it. Maybe, maybe not. I would like you to do a proportion, which is as follows. 9,550.8 liters in 1 hour. If that is true, then you ask yourself, how many liters would I have in 5.5 hours? And I need you to understand the difference. Here, we are converting, right, from gallons to minutes, liters to hours, liters per hour, right? We're converting. Over here, we're not converting. We're answering a question, right? We're answering, hey, how many liters would you have in 5.5 hours, or 10 hours, or 20 hours, or 24 hours, right? I set up a proportion, okay? So this is a proportion. What is that? Cross multiply and divide, does that ring a bell? Cross multiply and divide? That's what that is. It's a fancy name for cross multiply and divide. So watch how I do this. Your teachers may have done it differently, probably a longer way, but it's time to get the shortcut, guys. It's just time, okay? I start on the side of the equation where my variable is. I go to the number, not the variable, right? And then I go multiply across this way, I times it, and then I go divide it by what the number down here is. So you cross multiply and then you divide by what is left over. But I want you to show me the work. That is not work. That is just explaining to you how I do this. 5.5 hours multiply 9,550.8 liters divides, I divide all of that by the 1 hour. And what cancels out in this scenario? Hours and hours are gone, so you're left with liters, which is what we want anyways, okay? So you can grab your calculator, you go 5.5, let's just do it so that we're practicing how to use this thing, right? I'm going to clear my home screen for now. 5.5 times 9550.8, and I get 52,529.4 liters. Final answers are rounded to 2 decimals unless otherwise indicated. Okay? All right. So we converted, then we used our converted rate to answer a question in the long run. Can I ask you to try B and C for a little bit? I want to see you in action. And if you get something wrong, that's not a big deal at all. In fact, if you try and you get it wrong, I applaud that, right? You've tried. If you're willing to get feedback and make corrections, that's what it's all about, okay? Did anybody do these already? You did them already? Keep going with other ones down the road if you don't mind. Okay. Or help your neighbor if your neighbor needs help. I'm just gonna do these two with you because I feel like some of you are so close. You just need that little reminder of what to change, how to proceed, right? You were paying attention, but you're like, right? Now you're doing the math. Now you're figuring out, you know what? I need to pay attention to an extra item that I've been missing, right? So I will do that here. So whether you did it or not, make corrections if there's something that isn't quite right. Add things, make notes, do whatever, okay? So good, let's go to this one. MPH, just so you know, you're gonna need to know what that is. That's miles per hour. So in a sense, you could rewrite this like that if you want. Okay, 65 miles per hour. And most of you got this one. 65 miles in 1 hour. I need to convert it to meters. M, just like that, is meters. S is seconds, okay? So I want to convert that. I go check my conversion rates. If you did this on your study sheet, you would know that 1 mile has 1,609.3 meters. You cancel out the units like that. Don't cancel out numbers just yet, just units. So I got my miles to meters, and then it's going from hours to seconds. So you should remember that 1 hour, and I put it in the numerator because it's in the denominator at the very beginning, because I want to be able to do this. And 1 hour has 3,600 seconds. Did you know that every single one of these is really equal to 1? Did you know that? This, like 1 mile and 1,609.3 meters is the exact same. It's just 1. But we're using this to get to the unit we want, okay? If you do science, if you do any of the sciences, this is going to come back, okay? So pay attention if you're taking chemistry or any of those, you're going to see this. Maybe not length, you're going to do mass, volume, things like that. Okay, pay attention to this part, okay? I'm just going to say in general, this one doesn't need it, but I want you to think of, I'm going to multiply everything that's in the numerator and get a number. And it's meters, by the way. And then I'm going to multiply everything that's in the denominator, 1 times 1 times 3,600. Was that really necessary, Mr. Dirksen? No, it wasn't. Okay, so that is a rate, but that's not the unit rate. That's not like the final rate we want. Is this wrong to state it like this? Technically, if I don't ask you specifically, this is okay. But this question is asking you to just have 1 second at the bottom, not 3,600 seconds, right? So your last step is, look at this, copy paste. I take the numerator, I divide it by the denominator, and this is what most of you were getting. And this rounds to 29.06 meters per second. This is the final answer. Because A, like the first part ends here, so we just round, okay? If this had been one big question, we would not want to round just yet. Okay, let's do the second part. How long, it's asking for time, would it take to travel 750 meters? We're not converting, okay? We're just going to use this and say, hey, you can even write seconds, that's fine. I'm just using this, setting it up, and when you have an equal sign in between, you got to match the units. So where will the 750 go? It will go at the top, because meters are at the top on the other side. Okay? And you make this your time, and it's going to be in seconds, right, if you calculate it this way. So what do we do now, guys? What do we start with side? Right side, where the variable is. We start with a number, cross multiply, then divide. So it's always multiply first, divide second. This does not work. So some students think that's showing your work. I'm going to stop doing that, the arrows, after a while. So it's 750. You don't have to show me the units, but show me the numbers that are multiplied. And when you do that, you get 25.81 seconds. Okay? It's not quite a minute, is it? So it's okay to state it as seconds in this case because it didn't ask for anything else. Let's do C together. C is harder. Okay, I don't know if you've already noticed. Maybe some of you are like, it's not hard. I asked ChatGPT and it did it in a hard, right? It just did it like that. Well, you won't have ChatGPT when you do your test. Okay, so a nice try. So 4.5 liters in 1 minute. Is this a unit rate, guys? I'm circling. Is that a unit rate? Yes. Why? Because the denominator is 1. Unit, per unit. Have you ever, unit rate is something you use in the store if you want to find out which one is the cheaper item. Like you've got toilet paper rolls, like 50 rolls and 30 rolls. You're like, which one is better? Like, yeah, you do the unit rate. You find out what it is for one, okay? Let's convert liters to ounces. How, right? How is that going to happen? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you because you might think I'm pulling things out of a hat. I see that I could go from liters to gallons there, and then I go from gallons to ounces. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, let's do that. I know that 1 gallon has 3.79 liters. You cancel out the liters. Make sure you write this down. Okay. Then I'm going to use the fact that, what was it again? 1 gallon has how many ounces? 128, right? Thank you. Gallons, gallons. I now converted liters to ounces. Okay? What else do I need to do? 1 minute to seconds. So I will put 1 minute has 60 seconds. Cancel the minutes. Okay? Do you have highlighters? I told you to get highlighters, right? I'm going to just do this one here. The liters cancels out here. The gallons cancel out here. And the minutes cancel out here. Mr. Dirksen, does it matter which one I do first? Like, could I have done 1 minute to 60 seconds? Could I have used this one right at the beginning? Yes, it doesn't matter. Because eventually they all multiply, right? Now, this one is a little messier, right? So what I will do is I will do this. My calculator on yet? Yeah. 4.5 times 1, I will omit that, times 128. Right, so I multiply all my numerators. That's 576. What? What remains at the top in terms of units? Ounces. And the denominator, I go 1 times 3.79 times 60, basically. I omit the ones because it doesn't make a difference multiplying by 1. So I get 227.4 seconds. I'm almost there. I'm almost there, guys. This is a rate. How do I know it's a rate? What makes something a rate? What's that? That's a unit rate. But you're almost there. Keep that for now. When the denominator is not 1, that is a rate, yes. But what makes that a rate? Like, it's the two different units. Okay? If you have ounces seconds, kilometers per hour, anything that has two different units, we call that a rate. So let's turn that into a unit rate. How will we do that? Copy, paste, right? Copy. I will paste that, and that is my unit rate right there. When you have the denominator equaling to 1. This is a unit rate. Okay, I'm going to highlight that part. But I appreciate the not being 1, like we call that just a rate, and the unit rate is when it's out of 1. Okay? And now we can answer that other question. How many liters in 35 minutes? Uh-oh. Which one would I use? Is it smart to use this one? It's ounces and seconds. This one has liters and minutes. Okay? That's the one I'm going to use. X number of liters. So I cross multiply. Quiet for now, okay? While I'm teaching, thank you. 35 times 4.5 divided by 1, because that's a 1 right there. And that ends up being 157.5 liters. Mr. Dirksen, do I have to do all of this if I just know that I have to multiply? Like, I realized that it's 4.5 liters per minute. You asked me for 35 minutes. I just went 35 times that. Is that okay? Yes, it is okay. As long as you show me some work, I'm fine with that. But this is basically like the reasoning why we do that, okay? The formal way of showing. Okay. I would like you to try a couple more. I feel like some of you need a bit more practice. What's the time? Oh, I think I'm just going to leave you the rest of the class to do work. Okay? We're going to take it a little easy at first. So, the ones I want you to try, I'm going to ask you to try homework. So you can write that down in your booklet so you know where to find it. So I'm going to say page 4. Omit J and K for now. Like anything that has cubed or squared, for now, you just take a break from that. You don't need to worry about it just yet. And remember the pages I assigned yesterday, or the one page? Hold on. I'm going to ask you to do page 13 completely. Finish it this time, okay? You did some other questions. And so we'll do that. And on Monday, I'll have a quick AC for you to do conversions, okay? So this stuff that we did today, and then we'll move on and do some rentals, like we calculate how much it costs to renovate a room, paint, like how much paint do we need, all of that stuff. That's coming next week.